Yeah. It's been a while. So like Soy Studio was like asking about you today.
Really? No kidding.
Like you
Well,
like so
cool.
he keeps calling you out, or used to, and he's like,
I
I'm
think we might be able to get him into a used to camp.
I
Um,
he agrees with you on many issues, and on this issue of the wash trading on Osmosis, he does agree.
well,
So
yeah. Well,
there is something that you brought to the light. I'm not into this, and I think you actually ruining everything, Jacob. Because the truth is, we live in this beautiful utopia. Everyone is happy. Everyone making money. We have incentivized tools.
actually, the people. Wait, but it's no. So like all of the projects that don't engage in wash trading on Osmosis are not happy and should not be happy. And
Uh,
if 188 does not pass, then they must wash trade to care about their users.
which projects do wash trading? Can you use? Can you
Well, okay, let's just say that when I looked at the data for Lum, it looked like they might be okay, but like,
Loom?
you know what? Yeah, but hang on. I'm gonna say to Lum guys, I don't know, maybe you guys are watch trading, but like, if you are, it's fairly small compared to what's being done by Key. So let's only talk about actions. Let's talk about the degree of inflation of volume here, and let's talk about effects. Okay, I don't want to talk
So
about their
so
team.
so let's
I
assume this
validate
is
that
the
chain, and it. Mhm.
this is the French thing. The wash trading is the French thing. Loom
Yeah.
Foundation is also French project. So
Lum
it
is
seems
also a
the
French project,
French
but I
people.
don't. Let's not conflate stuff, okay? Because this wouldn't matter if they were, oh, let's say they're from Ghana or Vietnam or the United States state of Georgia or the country of Georgia, okay? Like on osmosis, it's I think a well-known reality that the way that incentives in Osmo are doled out is by trade volume, okay? And so, what the key team was doing, and the action that I want to discuss and strictly prohibit, okay, is inflating your volume as a foreign chain team that's connected to osmosis. Okay, like you should, in the old world, in centralized exchanges, okay, decentralized exchanges expected projects to wash trade. Okay, they would give you a zero fee account. They'd mark your account as special, okay, and then they would expect you to do two things typically. One, hire a market maker. Well, guys, we're actually like it's supposed to be an automated market maker. You're supposed to not need to hire the market maker, okay, and then two, right? You take your zero fee account, right? You schlep that over to the market maker, and the market maker would, they'd wash trade and set prices. Like that's their job. Um, Wash trading. Okay. So what is wash trading? Wash trading is when you trade back and forth without the intention of moving prices. You can do like different types of trading where it's your intent to move prices, but like um, well, what can I say? Wash trading is when the intent is not to move prices. So it does that. I hope that explains well. You are only trying to create volume. Now, recently, the key team they turned off the system that was wash trading at $1,000 per minute, $1,000 per minute. Yeah, they turned it off, and well, what happened to their volume? Their volume is now 1/80th of what it used to be. Not 1/8, one
Can it be seen?
eightieth.
Can it be seen or not well?
We can be seen, I think. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Pull up. Well, you'd want to pull up my Twitter. Pull up my pinned tweet, sir. Go to my Twitter
Yes.
profile and go and look at my pinned tweet. And I mean, let me just tell you, I strongly don't believe I'm ruining everything because the effect of Key creating all of this trading activity, okay, is that all of the other projects that use osmosis would then either need to get engaged in wash trading so that their users would receive pool incentives, or, well, they're just not going to get so many pool incentives because, okay, this is today, now go to yesterday. Ah, yeah. Okay, but guys, that was the team doing that. And then keep in mind that if they do that, right, and it's about an 80x there approximately, okay, also means they're getting 80x the incentives. That's the way that incentives are doled out on osmosis. And, well,
Are
make a
they?
long
How?
story short,
Because the
yes, sir.
uh, incentives are going to the liquidity providers,
Right.
not to
They
the
were
ones who trade.
pumping volume. Well, that's correct. They were pumping volume because they are the LPs.
Okay.
And conveniently, they have a
So,
validator to take the Osmo that they earn. Okay? They stake it on that. Oh,
but the incentivized pools are like not so what they were making were, I believe, the swap fees, because the
No,
volume
no,
is
no, no, no,
higher.
no, no.
The
So
swap fees.
this is wait. I've got to stop you. This is wash trading, and wash trading is not intended at making a profit.
Yeah.
Wash trading is intended at increasing volume.
Hmm.
And I don't know, maybe what they're saying is true, right? They were like, there's an evil bot and it's sapping our pools of liquidity. I do not believe it. I think they were lying, okay? But maybe it's true. However, their actions nonetheless had a clear effect on volume, and incentives are handed out by volume. So they didn't just 80x their volume, they 80x their incentives. Any project that does not wash trade on osmosis, okay, look at, if you were to look at like Diggs trade history, right? So there's no, you're never going to see like, a bot trading back and forth $1,000 in 1 minute intervals, okay? Like, you won't see that. Why? We don't do that. If somebody does it, it's not us.
But
And
the sorry, like it seems, sorry to stop you, because it seems the
yeah,
volume of key is so low because it's early in the day. So you did the
um,
screenshot, because when you look at Dig today, right?
uh-huh.
But similar thing happened.
Well,
Like,
but wait. I'm so sorry. You might want to pull up the governance proposal. I do
yeah,
wish
but
people would
this
read
is
these things. Oh, no, 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 no. Go pull up the GovProp because you'll see that in the GovProp there's two accounts linked. Those accounts did nothing but
can I
trade
do
$1,000 back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and they were stopped. And I don't know. Maybe the volume thing is something early in the day. Although I think that's actually 24
yeah,
hour.
today, sorry to stop you.
Uh,
Today's volume is because
Oh
it's
yeah,
early
Mad
in the
Cat.
day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will, because that would mean that osmosis is not the thing that I thought it was. Like I look at, I thought osmosis was trying to like, you know, clean up the way that we trade crypto assets and the sex space, right? Centralized exchanges and stuff. Um, it was de rigueur to do wash trading. I think that's wrong. I never participated in it, but like the expectation was very, very much there. I do not want that to be the expectation on osmosis. And if it becomes the expectation on osmosis, it should be like, no. So, I mean, yeah, if the no with veto carries the day, yeah, like, because it's just not something I want to do. I don't want to assist, you know, the many chains that I work with and linking up with a system where they have to wash trade. Conversely, I'm challenging any validator voting no with veto. All right, well, you did the no with veto. That's cool, but like, you should disconnect. You know, because
So
I believe that these are fundamentally incompatible visions of the network. Because in one vision, right, every team that puts an asset on Osmosis must wash trade. That's where we're heading right now. Yes, Mad Cat, that's correct. I don't really think it will. I think we're a community of rational actors, but yeah, I would because it would a no with veto is a hell of a strong signal from the community, right? And I guess it would strongly signal that osmosis is not what I thought it was. That we are tolerant of activities like wash trading. Um, and as much as I like value the community and everything, I don't think that is the future of money. I also don't think that the founders of Osmosis think that's the future of money. I guess if I'm wrong, I'll just you know, um, convictions have like if you choose to do things a certain way, it has a cost. Opinions are really expensive. Um, I kind of knew like before I posted this gum prop that this is going to be an expensive opinion. Um, and I mean, actually, I certainly didn't really expect any no with vetoes on it, but hey, whatever. Um, and if I've fundamentally misunderstood the goals of osmosis, then, well, again, like Mad Cat, I assume you know this, but like I build chains for third parties, and if chains must wash trade in order to receive a fair stake in, osmosis incentives and whatever, uh, I don't want to get them into that. Like it's all the stupidity of centralized exchanges all over again.
may I ask question, Jacob?
Yeah, yes, sir.
It's from the Chill Validator. They
Hmm.
just
Yeah, yeah,
texted
yeah.
me,
Please.
so they have the question. Is it possible slash practical to exclude any bot like volume and solve the incentivize inflating problem for any future bots slash pools as well? Seems incentivize
Not really.
adjustment go through manual spreadsheet anyways. And then can
Yeah.
we lock key down to a reduced slash normal incentivize incentive goes for any other coin that gets booted washed in the
Yeah.
future?
All right. So
Quite a
there
lot,
are
right? But
already. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'll walk him through it though. So like there are already filters on Osmosis, basically spam filters, specifically targeted at our bots. That were doing like this weird thing that allowed them to make tiny little profits. Now, notice those were actual art bots. They were aiming at profit. The bot that was running on the key pools did not aim at profit. It aimed only at boosting volume. Yes, the beard is gone, sir. Um, and like, why would they aim only at boosting volume? Well, LJ, they have every right to vote no with veto. And like, the cool thing for me, right? If that were to pass with a no with veto, which I think maybe has never happened in Cosmos, that's like really, really strong signal. Hey, Jacob, you're like super wrong about this. And I don't know, like I don't think that we should tolerate this kind of activity, and I don't want to make it specific. All right, like we should not tolerate the inflation of volume by any team. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, John Sunny. Well, where can I put this? I think Sonny would agree with me that he kind of bitched out the SIF community because there was like at one point there was a public plan by some members of the SIF community. They were like, "Yo, what we're gonna do? Okay, Osmo is incentivizing us now, so like let's wash trade like hell." And actually, Sonny like really jumped on that and was right to do so. And no one at SIF ever actually did that. Thank God. But like, yeah, I would say that from his leadership perspective, he's put quite a strong stance on it. And what are you gonna say? I found this information. um, just sort of messing with different stuffs. Like, hmm, not good, you know. Uh,
Yeah, because now Sana
eh,
is a little bit silent. I feel he didn't see your messages.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see.
But also,
He's
like,
probably waiting and seeing.
for
Uh, 34% no
yeah,
with veto means, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like every single one of these is unique. And look, if I'm just so wrong on this, and like, okay, it's cool for project teams to wash trade, and aggressively so, and 80x their volume, and therefore 80x their incentives. Osmosis at that point, it's not the project that I thought it was. And guys, I want to make really clear here. I think it is the project that I thought it was. I think that this will take some time. There may be a little noise around like, oh my God, you pushed it right to the chain. But I also think that was, entirely the correct thing to do. Oh yeah, well, so yeah, yeah. But let's not get into key, right? Let's generalize this and come up with a practice. Because, guys, there's a flywheel effect here, and that's really important, okay? I don't really want to talk poop about key because, like, you know what? I validate that chain. I had a conflict of interest here, like, whoa. I know that choosing to make that prop on Osmo could, like, seriously harm the financial situation of Keychain. I knew that. Okay. But well, I looked at the data, and then I looked at the data some more, and I looked at the data some more, and I made the prompt. And I mean, frankly, their response to it is much worse than I ever would have thought, because that's not an arbitrage bot. Arbitrage bots do arbitrage. So they're lying. Please don't lie. Like, you know, um, you see, if you increase volume, right, and now your Osmo incentives are higher, it's like life support for your coin because there's a reason to like jump onto your coin and then farm it, and then given kind of like, uh, yeah, well, so they could have done a lot of things differently here, and frankly, like I really don't want to see a situation where everybody must wash trade. Um, and that I'm telling you guys, that is absolutely where we're heading. If this prop fails, then for example, like big teams should definitely wash trade and like super freaking aggressively. Why? Like, oh, we're cool with that.
do you think if the pools would be not incentivized, is it okay to wash trade then?
Uh, that's actually, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
why
because I
not?
think
Right?
like wash trading is okay, right? It's free market, but the problem
Get
is that there's
abso-freaking.
incentivized pools.
See, I like you, man. I like you. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with wash trading. It's not illegal. Why would you do that? I don't know, man. There's not really an incentive to, right? Like if the pool is not incentivized, there's probably no reason to wash trade. But you can, and nothing should stop you from doing so. And all my governance proposal discusses is like, yo, that's not something that we should pay chain communities to do under any circumstances. Guys, their volume, 80x, right? So they were earning 80x the incentives because they were wash trading, which is to say, the Osmosis blockchain was paying the Key Foundation liquidity providers, probably mainly the Key Foundation and the club staking team, uh, to wash trade. Like, that sucks. We can fix this. How do we fix this? We just yes on 188. Am I trying to say they're like awful, horrible, bad people? No, I'm just saying Osmo should not pay for that. Otherwise, the whole we break it. We literally break it. Does anybody like Martin? Do you understand what I mean by we break osmosis if wash trading is not prohibited on incentivized pools?
Well, as I said, if there is like no, we basically wait. I simple. That's kind of waste of resources and fake image of the pools that is out there. Other stories, if this is not incentivized, and if you try to manipulate market with that, hey, our pools are have like really high volume, there is a lot of interest, that is okay to do it and centralize exchange. Because the so I ask, why would you do that? You can create the fake impression of like, hey, look, there is high volume, people buying and selling, so like that actually can encourage people for trading. And there is a lot of centralized exchanges doing this for many shit coins that have
Oh
very
yeah,
low
and
volume.
well, let's take it further. They expect you to do it.
Yeah.
The centralized
and
exchanges.
and the
It's
issue
a de
here,
rigueur part of a listing.
the issue is here that there is like these incentives that meant to be fairly distributed for building up the liquidity on osmosis. And doing this, well, you see the issues. Like if that would be not incentivized pool, that's okay, but it's basically the gaming out the osmosis system and distribution of incentives, which could consider like gaming the system, right? So I would say maybe that you
Forget the
understand those.
gaming. Let's just say that that they're even following the rules of the game, right? I'm
Hmm.
just saying that like the rules of the game should never incentivize loss trading.
Hmm.
That's all,
But
right? And like
is
also
it?
the gov prop is totally aimed at to some degree modifying the rules of the game because like guys the key community has been getting 80x the incentives because of wash trading. Wash trading like this does not benefit osmosis in any way, shape, or form. The only people it benefits are the key liquidity providers. I don't know who they are, but like I assure you, they benefit handsomely because it's proportional, right? So volume goes up, incentives go up. Oh, dudes, you broke it. Don't break my Osmo, please. That's all. Like, and
um
if they want to
I,
like test their art bots and stuff in a non-incentivized environment, that's cool.
I want to add something, because it does seem that the systems that started, and for first few months it was said that it's great success, and that that's about osmosis and Juno, that we discovered the massive flaws of each of these systems, and that's where discussions appear. And it seems that the systems are deeply flawed. Like
I
starting with
mean,
Juno,
well,
right?
they're built
We
by
had the problem.
people. Yeah, but no, I mean, let me walk you through this. Okay, first of all, it's software. All software has bugs. Just how it be, right? Then, secondly, we do something unique in Cosmos. It's really hard, really, really hard, because we included governance. And I should mention, apparently, Sunny more or less did the governance module. And I really like the governance module, guys. Like dig is, oh, let's use /x/gov for land because it's really efficient. Okay, that's sort of like the central thesis there. And yeah, remember we would be processing full blocks every time, and there would be a vast incentive to spam up the chain. Um, so I don't know to those saying, "Oh, we got to discuss it more and stuff." Well, I don't know when I see something that's a danger to like all of Osmo. Nah, I'm just gonna act on it. And by the way, I guess like to those voting no with veto, if that's like something you're really, really strongly opposed to, like you're that into the proceduralism, I don't know. Please keep your no with veto vote. Like if it gets to that level, I don't really think I'd have a choice but to leave the validator set. I guess like that'd be like an ongoing thing, but like, why would I leave the validator set? Well, I mean, again, why on earth would we openly incentivize wash trading? It is literally like it is absolutely unproductive. It does nothing but produce fake numbers. We're doing
J-
that right now. We're incentivizing wash trading as we speak, and that sucks.
Jacob,
We gotta fix it.
can I ask you something? Okay, I'm not sure if it's going like away from this subject, but we have over 600 pools, right? Maybe 700, something like this on Osmosis.
Yeah, 6 or 7, probably 7 now, but it
And
was
what if
six
we will
something a
have
while ago.
50,000 pools? Like, how will
We're
you
just
be?
gonna keep doing its
How
thing, man.
like
We will.
because like there will it will be extremely difficult to police this sort of behaviors, and there will be tons of malicious behavior on Osmosis, I would assume. And then when you will have 50,000 pools, the job will be not so easy, because among them there will be thousand that do wash trading, and pointing each of them could be a little difficult. So as the project will be more will start scaling, don't you think that
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
part
yeah.
of the game?
No, I don't. Okay, but it's a really, really good question. So, how can I request that we don't jump to a world where we have 50,000 pools? And can I request that we instead jump to a world where there are 1,000 layer 1s connected to osmosis? Is that cool?
Hmm.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So let's talk about like some changes to the Cosmos SDK and to where I think governance is heading. Please keep in mind that like all this software is really super new. Okay, one of the things that I was talking about, I really think that we need this because guys, I'm probably not the right person to like be going around and checking charts. If I like, holy shit, $1,000 a minute. Oh, there it goes again. Oh, once more, and again, and again, and then furthermore, like putting my ass on the line, to the tune of so far $5,000, and however the hell much, however you want to value my time, right? Because it's a vast time investment for a governance proposal, and it should be like emissaries or ambassadors, okay? And basically, it's my opinion that osmosis governance should try and appoint somebody, the like overseer of a chain. And now, what's that person do? Well, they might submit governance proposals like this one. They might also submit like, hey, we should boost incentives for such and such reason governance proposals. And I want to say I'm probably against blanket policies, and I kind of think that like the osmosis community should go hard on high touch stuff. There's this expression, do things that don't scale. Yeah, okay, one person, one chain. It's not, Marcin. It's not going to scale to the world where we have 50,000 pools or even like 50,000 foreign chains, and I think that's a world that we can get to, right? But having these emissaries is going to help us to develop way better policy and like know what's going on as a community as things scale. I also know that the community pool certainly has the necessary funds to execute this. And I suppose that the really challenging part would be like finding a project lead for it or something, right? You would need somebody knowledgeable and passionate, and then that person would need to find all the emissaries. It could be like one emissary manages multiple chains. I don't know, like 1 to 3 or something. Whole point being, instead of looking at this as an enforcement mechanism, which, guys, this GovProp is totally like it's about setting precedent. It's about enforcing, like, no, 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 we don't want to incentivize your weird our bot wash trading producing thing. Thank you. Okay. And keep in mind that like incentives can be added back later. I'm not saying like, oh, they're the most evil humans ever. What I'm saying is they are clearly wash trading. We, we, dial back the incentives immediately. Um, and so like, all right, that's enforcement, and it's actually probably the wrong type of action. What I mean, I don't regret it. I think it's definitely the right thing to do, and I think that if we do not tamp down on wash trading, we're a little bit screwed. Okay. We also probably have to look at like how to hand out incentives and stuff like that. But hey, take this a step further. If we have these emissaries, we can really transform the relationship. Right? I know for a fact that like, well, so you were saying they're kind of like parasites and just sort of sucking out Osmo out of Osmo. Well, yeah, so yeah. I mean, you and I like to go at it sometimes, but like, yeah, that's basically what's happening here. We shouldn't let that happen. It's not that hard to prevent
I
it
wonder
either.
your
Mhm.
your job, right? You are validate. How many chains you validating now?
It's I believe 24, and
Okay, and you
to
active in all 24?
not personally, I am actually hiring emissaries to those communities. I am personally most active on the Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, Juno, Dig. Okay.
Okay,
But like basically, for example, with Secret Network right now, that's Ving. But we're actually also talking to people in the secret community. It's basically like we want to have people in a representative role um, who really, really get to intimately know the community. And in fact, Marcin, I'll tell you that like the thing that I just described for osmosis is quite frankly, it's what we're building to scale our validation stuff. I
hmm
looked at the situation. I realized, hey, we can easily, from a technical perspective only, we could do another 200 chains, no problem. However, and this is very, very important, like we couldn't provide those communities with the level of support that I want to. And that's very, very important to me. Hell, that's why I made this governance proposal. Like, I want to be a validator that like actively looks out for osmosis. And so, like these individuals, I'm even thinking that like their wallet keys get auth Z'd, right? They represent notional in that community. So, like the governance votes, for example, are delegated to them. We make sure that the community really, really likes them. That the community thinks they do a great job of, like, for example, letting our engineering team know what the chain might need. Because since we do work on a lot of chains, I mean, this is something. It might not be unique to us, but I think that there's not really a lot of orgs that can do this since we have so much comparative knowledge inside Notional. There are a lot of small issues that we can catch and fix fast. And a lot of times it's just like if we knew that the community had that need, we'd be in there with a code patch in a second. Because, frankly, if there's a common problem in a Cosmos chain, well, our team may have already seen it multiple times. We may have already fixed it multiple times. And we're super, super glad to fix a common problem on any chain that we have, or even add features, right? But like what I realized is I'm actually out of steam to have all of those conversations, right? Osmo is super special to me. I don't intend to like ever lower my personal involvement, unless of course this thing goes no with veto and like and then maybe osmosis isn't what I thought it was, and I do unfortunately consider this it's fundamental, right? Like, oh, so we're cool to incentivize wash trading. All right, well, thank you. I've learned so much with you guys, but like I I may need to take a step back because that's not my vision of the future. Um, it's also what I'd say to the other validators when they're thinking about their votes and stuff. It's basically like, eh, I just know that we can do better and that like you know hey yeah I advocated for really, really, way, way, way stronger penalties in the case of the Juno whale. Guys, this is not the case of the Juno whale. This is like, please don't abuse our mechanisms, and like, if things improve over time, like you can totally have those mechanisms back. Um, but far as I can tell, it's precisely what I said in the gov prop, and I am open to listening, although not really to lies. Like if you tell me, oh, it's an arbitrage bot, but then I see that the bot is wash trading. Since I'm not a virgin, I know what the difference in activity of an R bot versus a wash bot looks like. That's a wash bot, people. We could call it an R bot if we want to, but it's washing.
The
Oh,
reason why I ask you this question about how many pools, and because I feel there is a flaw in the idea of Cosmos. I'm sorry for saying that, but PZ Peng Zheng, he's head of
mm-hmm.
Tendermint. He always like to say million chains, right? Like I understand some of
Oh,
them would
those are going
be,
to be chains that you don't
but
use. Those are going
let
to be
me
chains that
that
service chains.
so I understand there will be small community chains as well, but as of now, we could probably expect at least few hundred chains that do the airdrops, trying to incentivize the community of the Cosmos Hub to be part of the ecosystems. And then it would be very difficult. It would be like shit show for someone like me to even vote on few hundred chains. And for validators, that would be even worse. Like if you would manage 500 chains, like you cannot be active in all of, like it's impossible. Like
Well, not you would have to have people who do it. You end up needing a team. I'm
so
definitely yes.
so do you see maybe the job of the validator more like now it seems like the small companies often it's the private people. I believe Jabi is him, or maybe like one or two more people, but there's probably people who is just them. So do you see the validator job expanding to the point that it would be like medium-sized companies, right now we have maybe Bitcoin mining is big companies.
All right, so check this out.
Do you
Check this
expect the
out.
validator having full offices in the skyscrapers and just validating and like being like sizable companies?
We we may, like, I mean, notional may, like, okay, so we have no skyscraper, I assure you,
Well,
and
just
even though I freaking love it, well, no, 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 let me
offices.
talk you through this. Let me talk you through the growth, because you're talking about like how is it going to grow, right? And I've thought a lot about this because if I'm going to criticize myself, I'm going to say we validate too many chains. Okay, but I also know, like, because I ask, okay, in general, we get really, really good feedback from the chains that we validate or like the chains that we relay and stuff like that. So then I had to ask myself, okay, how is it going to be possible? Yeah, LJ, you're totally right, and there should be, right? So like that's one of the reasons why we're releasing that closet validation guide, right? It's like the most minimal kit of stuff. In fact, all right, check this out. We got like 6 minutes, let's say. Let's say we have 15. I'm gonna open the mystery bag.
Oh, what's that?
All right, guys. So here I am. I'm back. I can hear
I
you
think
again.
validating will be extremely beneficial one day when there will be company validating 5,000 chains. That will be
Yeah, like
interesting
well,
business venture.
Tendermint is interested in the infrastructure to do that. Um, I'm not. Check this out. I don't necessarily think that the type of chain that I'd like to see Notional grow with is going to pretty much require like an engaged human, right? And I think that there is enough Jacob for like the Cosmos Hub, for validating Osmosis, for validating Juno, and also to like step in when needed, right? And to write code. Okay. So LJ, at times I would also rather be. It's just sort of like, this is what happened. So we're now 15, right? Most of that is actually software developers. Okay. So they're developing chains typically with Cosmos SDK. In fact, universally with Cosmos SDK for our clients. And wow, and I really should have shaved. All right. Anyway, um, so like about 10 coders. That does not include me. Actually, my focus is more infrastructure. And as much as I try to resist it, I'm also pretty focused on like growing out the team and stuff like that. I would like to share with the audience, I really freaking love to write code. Like, I enjoy that very, very much. And I'm lucky that, um, well, that I got to learn, right? I mean, I have a history degree, right? I got relatively good at it. Not only did I get relatively good at it, but I learned how to sell that work. That's super. And so if anybody's kind of on the fence about learning to code, I'll just share with you that it is really a joy in my life when I have a 10-hour block of time to sit down and do some software development. Like, it's really, really fun and really, really rewarding. And I don't only mean financially, but guess what? If you're working with the Cosmos SDK, you'll also likely do well financially, which is cool too.
I'm waiting for people to start sending me. I did so much great work in the names of whale that I should be rewarded.
Oh, you should be bribed. Well, hey, listen, listen. I don't have any problem with bribery, and maybe you should be bribed. I don't know, Takumi, if
No,
you're here, like, he's your
I
man.
said it before. I'm gonna vote no for Burn. I'm voting yes for Unity proposal. That's my, and I'm not gonna change that. But I still did the fair share of work. So them, instead of wasting the
Oh, yeah.
token on the
Actually,
Twitter,
like,
they
you
should
do
send me
really,
at least few
really
thousand.
excellent advocacy work. Like, okay, here's a question to you. So, like, look, the advocates that we're trying to hire, and I said this actually to somebody that I did a Twitter Spaces with like yesterday. It was probably in reference to representing us in the secret network community. Well, first of all, I don't really, hiring is probably not the right way, right? It's like you're representing. It's an insanely, insanely high autonomy thing. If you're interested in doing stuff like that with us, where like basically you're the go between engineering and the chain community. Well, look, the interesting part is that like you and I don't always need to agree, right? In fact, what you need to do is represent the organization effectively in that chain. Oh, and by the way, guys, this is exactly how I got the idea for Osmosis, where like there would be individuals who, let's say, they're like responsible for the success of foreign chains in using the Osmosis platform, right? So I looked at our own problems, our own questions here at Notional. I came up with, all right, where we're really short isn't the technical stuff. That's fine, and it's scaling fine. Where we're really, really short is like super high accountability people who can represent us properly in chain communities so that we can provide the kind of service that like we all feel really good about, right? So, I guess one, I think that that's a probably really good way for Osmosis to deal with its scaling questions. Now, I'll also tell you that when we start talking like millions of blockchains in terms of like Pung's vision, right? Um, that's going to happen, and a lot of those are probably going to be mainly like utilities. Um, hey, Victor, I'm really glad that you like that idea. I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. I'm beginning to implement it at Notional. And seriously, if any viewer here who's knowledgeable about Cosmos is interested, I'd strongly encourage you to speak with me. I don't know exactly what the role is going to look like, but like certainly for people who are responsible, high accountability, and like enjoy working with communities in Cosmos, yeah, I think we've got a super opportunity. And
I
there's, you know,
I
validator is just. Mhm.
go on. Finish the thought if
Oh
you
no,
want.
no, no, no! What were you gonna say?
No, because you were saying before about disagreements, and just Key Foundation just followed me on Twitter. So I just want to
Hmm.
say, if they would ever like to discuss, I'm very open, and they can, of
Uh,
course, show their side of the story. Meanwhile, I want to ask you, do you know who is Easy Staking? Who they
yeah,
are? Any
actually,
idea?
why do you ask? Because he's like they're super cool. Um,
Because
they were
shit
the
out of
ones
them.
who, but you annoy the shit out of them.
they,
What? Whoa!
they
I have
annoy the shit
absolutely
out of
nothing
me.
against French projects. What are you talking about, dude?
Um,
I am against
maybe
wash
he's
trading though. That's
referring
like
maybe
super
he's
not cool.
referring to the beginning of this, because I made a joke that the wash trading is the French thing, because the Loom network is coming from France and Key Foundation. So
Oh
I
yeah,
made
well,
the joke
and then
that,
I told you that it's absolutely not
yeah,
about
but that's
national
it's
origin at all,
yeah.
and it's not. It's about like, dude,
Mm.
I'm not in support of incentivizing wash trading,
So
and I'm not.
about easy staking, because I really like them. I delegated to them before, and they were very reliable. But when
Hmm.
the thing regarding Prop 16 happened, I realized they are not very people, and they actually behaved very childish with all of this. Like, I expect from the validator to be actually able to engage in the discussion and be able to
I mean,
stand to
so that's
the
important,
point.
but I just want
And
to say that I like Zach.
easy
Um,
staking was just like refusing discussion. Basically, we made our mind, and whenever the discussion was regarding what to do with the whale, the easy staking would leave the gifs under the whale posts of like the flames, just burning. It's
well,
like,
like, look, okay, look.
is
As
it
a
what I'm
validator,
saying? What I'm saying,
mhm.
like, if you go this way, just go with something funny and original, and not just flames. Like, like, that's actually that
He's
should
right. He's right. He's sorry. You're right. You're right. You are right.
that's not what
Woo! That's cool,
validator should
LJ.
be doing to me. Like, and it was, and by the
Yeah,
way, like,
and really, like, okay, I regret. So Ethan Bookman, he mentioned the 1970s exploding whale situation, where like, well, a whale carcass was, it was disposed of by exploding it, and then I used that a bunch in the discourse surrounding the whale thing. That was not fun, And one thing I'll say, like, just in Zach's defense, right, is that like choosing the communication style and tactic, and keep in mind, guys, I try to follow. I don't know if anybody in the audience ever heard of the book Nonviolent Communication, and basically what that book is about is like getting your point across assertively without you know. Attacking the person. There's a lot more to it than that, though. It's a really good book, and that's the communication style that I try and use. That's not
an
to say
easy
I'm always
staking just
successful. When
just
I did the whale exploding thing, that was not. I was not practicing that. No. I failed. You know.
I mean, I can do this, but valid. And there was some, when the discussion Discord between the whale and the team was happening. There was someone putting their hands down under everything that whale was doing, until they were
Mm-hmm.
probably asked or banned to not do it. I wonder if you know who was doing this.
No. I wasn't even
Because
there for that. I was asleep. Yeah, I got to remember. I'm Asia, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Why didn't I include what in my proposal, sir? Uh,
I don't know what's that. But yeah, easy
no,
staking.
nor do I.
Easy Staking just
Hmm.
tweeted they had to deal with regarding Key Foundation. They had to deal with arbitration bots, which is common practice in the financial world, and had to counter that. The team is ready to disable the incentivize
But
depending
that's
on
not what
volume,
their bot did. That's not. That's not what it did.
and they
I
support the
mean,
vote
so they're just
against
lying.
188. So maybe you
Okay.
can say the easy staking is not good. I don't like them.
Oh, Easy Staking wants to vote
Yeah,
against
that's
188.
easy staking said. That's easy staking said. Exactly, Jacob. I think it's time
Oh
to.
well.
I want to remove
You know
easy
what, man?
stake.
I like Zach. I, but like, here's
I
the
to
thing.
remove them from active validator sets on any network. So whoever delegates to staking, redelegate to notionals.
Please don't. Okay. But like,
Please do
I
it.
mean, I would be
Please do it.
appreciative. But let me just say that, like, right, it's hard, and choosing the right comms is hard, and choosing the right positions on Gov is hard. And Zach, even if you vote no on the thing, I'm not going to go and hate you. I actually think you should vote yes, though, because we're straight up incentivizing. We're incentivizing wash trading. Like, that is bad. And no, they were not dealing with an R like evil R bot. Show me the evil R bot. I looked for its existence and I asked the key team to provide me with the address of the evil R bot, because if there is an evil R bot, it would have an address. That's just like the physics of this. That's the reality. That's how this works. They did not.
What's in the bag, Jacob? LJ
Uh,
asking
so,
what's in the bag.
yes, really? So, all right,
That's what
LJ,
I thought.
you're talking about like you'd like to be a 3 to 4 network validator. Well, I mean, we're pretty much working on a solution for you guys. All right, so this is what we've been building for a validator lately. That's a 1200 series Intel CPU, 64 gigs of RAM, a fast NVMe disk, and it does osmosis like a bat out of hell. So
And
like
how much does it cost?
basically 1,000. In the United States, I think somebody built one for about 1,000. Here, about
Peanuts.
1,200.
Peanuts.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The other thing that we're doing, and like, see, interestingly, I don't want to move to a scaled automated system in terms of. Thanks, man. I don't want to move to a scaled automated system in terms of like how we validate. If we validate 500 chains and those chains have sufficient economic value, I want 500 little computers because they're separate. Um, like, I think that it helps a lot with security and manageability. There's another school of thought, right, that actually says that what we should be doing is having fewer super large computers, and then like using containers or virtual machines to manage. But I don't feel fully good about that, right? Guys, I have another thing to jump on at 8 with Quicksilver. Um,
Oh,
and of course, you
that's cool.
guys want to join. That's super, super cool. But I'm going to say, like, let's say I've got 7 minutes and I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. And Charles, Judith, I want to make super clear to you, you need to roll back this video. You need to listen to what I said about France. This is not about France, man. No way. This is about wash trading. I made it incredibly, incredibly clear. Like, I would not care where in the world these projects come from. What's important to me is that, like, we're incentivizing some kind of crazy circle jerk right now. I don't want to do that. That's the bottom line. Also, I mean, when you vote no on 188, I swear to you, as a very heavy Osmosis user, an Osmosis code contributor, and an Osmosis integrator, somebody who, like, I have a consulting practice, and guess what? A lot of that is focused around bringing stuff to Osmosis. And let me tell you, sir, if 188 doesn't pass, or an alternative. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exactly, Charles. Yes, exactly. So just the facts, like we're incentivizing wash trading and it sucks. It's all. Nothing further. Okay.
May I ask
Um.
a question?
uh,
Oh, no. It's,
mhm.
okay, someone asking what sort of experience does. Okay.
I'm looking for people who have some experience in Cosmos communities, who may be like tied in, who maybe have some understanding of governance. Maybe you've considered being a validator, but you're not super technical or something like that, right? Um, this would be a way where, like, I mean, what I'm the way that I'm thinking that this works, like, the advocate. What, sir? I'm not. It's wash trading, sir.
uh, Charles,
You can if you'd like to,
or
but sir, it's wash when you trade $1,000 back and forth over and over, resulting in an 80 times increase in trade volume. I mean, there's a definition for that, guys. It's wash trade. No?
Charles, are you maybe the part of the Key Foundation or some other project? I don't know. Just curious
He
because
does seem concerned.
yeah. I
I don't
have
know. We should have him on sometime. We should talk directly to him. 'Cause, like, I don't know. It's just there's not a world that I can see where what's going on there isn't wash trading.
Hmm.
And all that really means is that we've got to stop incentives on the key pools and, like, just please don't wash trade because it breaks osmosis. Like, it. Oh, very well. Okay. Uh,
It would be cool to have
Whatever.
Key actually to address that. Um,
Well,
can I?
I just want to tell you that I believe that they're just actively lying. Um, I like the function of a bot, right? That is, you can see what it does, and, like, yes, I'm definitely one of the people that, like, people might ask, what is this thing doing? That thing is wash trading, like, for certain. You know, maybe I shouldn't have even put in the section on intent. All right, but, like, if I had to guess, yeah, that's the intent. Absolutely. I'm also comfortable saying that, so maybe it should have been there. You know, and maybe final message. I think this is extremely important to Osmosis because right now we are incentivizing transaction spam and market distortions. Um, to the tune of 80x what it would be otherwise. This is really, really unfair to every single project that does not do that. And I think it would be deeply harmful to osmosis. You have two roads that you can go with that, right? One is where, okay, fine, everybody's going to wash trade. I'll throw, I don't know, what, 50K into some wallets. Let's say 3 wallets, 50K each, right? And then we'll schlep it every block. But, like, that's not cool. And I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, every block is every 5 seconds, right? And then there's 12 of those in a minute. And take that, multiply that by 60. So we're doing $150,000 every block, 50 in each wallet, 3 wallets, right? Okay, well, when we get to 12, so what we're saying is every minute I'm wash trading like $1 million, I guess. Does it? By the way, does that create $1 million in value? No, it's more than, I guess, 1.8 million. That would be per minute, guys. Please understand that what I just described is fairly trivial to implement. It's really not that hard. I don't want osmosis to be a place for that. I don't think it adds value to anything. Hence Prop 188. So maybe that's like my closing message for today. Martina, if you'd like, I'd love to hop on again, like, yeah, later this
Yeah,
week or
we'll
next week.
we'll
I love
we'll
our
do it
chats, dude.
again. We'll do it
It's
again.
awesome.
It was good discussion. Probably cleared some air. And I think people often think maybe you are tweeting like an angry man, but when you speak, they see you are a fully relaxed person
I
speaking
mean,
the
like,
facts.
I do tweet a lot though, and what it
Yeah.
does is kind of gets the voice out there. Also thought about like switching over to like video tweets. And LJ, all right, we can do that next time. We will discuss the hardware more directly. These cases are working out great, by the way, and they are. I'll tell you the model real quick before I hop off.
How many of
Uh
these you
oh.
got?
So far three, but it'll be 20 real soon. Um, Basically, like the way that we're going to think about managing these systems is like each one is going to have a sticker on it. That's going to be the physical machine that validates that one chain forever. Then we're going to go out and we're going to start finding these representatives, and
Do,
that's
do,
going to be really interesting. Mhm.
does the Vietnam has good policies for the type of business you running,
Yeah, I mean, like
or is there
we're
or is there maybe other better place for being
there are
innovative?
no yeah, well, better and worse places for anything, right? But like Vietnam does not have any prohibitive legal policies, right? So like
Hmm.
we're definitely everything we do here is completely legal, and it's certainly a great place to do this. Dude, great question. All right, check this out. How much do you think the couch cost? Audience, guess.
Is it leather?
Yes, it is. The couch was well. I mean, maybe it was shockingly expensive. Maybe it was very reasonable. How much do we think the couch
I would
costs?
say $1,000, but maybe you got it for free, but you had to pick it up.
No, it's crazy. That thing was $500, and they came in and they built it. And yes, it's a truly wonderful couch that like makes the office complete, and it's great for working on. 500,
Yeah, that's
five
good
hundred.
deal for the
Yeah.
leather.
Oh yeah.
Looks like pretty damn comfortable couch.
It is
My
a pretty
girlfriend
damn
got me that.
comfortable couch,
She
man. Come on out to Vietnam sometime and
Yeah.
sit on it. It's
Yeah,
great.
and I'll be chilling there all day,
Excellent.
doing nothing
Excellent.
because I'm absolutely useless when it comes to the technical work. I can only speak to
Remember,
people.
we are hiring non-technical team members. Like that was a conscious decision. We want to
Once I build
onboard
the Don
people who
Kryptonium
represent
name,
us in different communities. Was that?
once I build the Don Kryptonium name, maybe there could be the help of the image as the Don Kryptonium. Not sure if that
Um,
makes sense because I'm
I
building this
don't know how
image
that
as the
works.
Don Kryptonium, and once the Don Kryptonium is very large, association of notional with Don Kryptonium could be beneficial for notional.
Well, I mean, it already is actually, and I'm definitely interested in
Well,
exploring that
we
more deeply.
we send in Jacob to top 10 validated.
Awesome.
That's the
Well,
okay.
like so that's the thing, and then that would be tremendously valuable to us. So like, happy to explore that with you, man. And LJ, please do come for a coffee. Sit on the couch, hang out. You know, stuff's pretty good here in Vietnam. I'm like super pleased with everything we've been able to accomplish, and frankly, like, oh my god, my appreciation for the team upstairs. Holy cow, they're amazing.
What's the favorite food? Do you like pho?
I do like pho, but like they call fried spring rolls here. That's nem. I don't like that very much.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing that I like to eat is just beef. I'm a beef fanatic, so like
Right. I
cow. Give
I
me a
I
cow,
really
man.
like with my girlfriend. We like pho a lot in Poland. I not get the good pho. I do like this kind of like lemongrass filet. They had it in Hong Kong. I don't know if it's Vietnamese. They had like the pork neck, and it was like in lemongrass or something. I don't know if it's like fusion or more like Vietnamese, but it was always delicious. Not sure if it makes sense. But
All
there's a lot
right.
of Vietnamese cuisine in Hong Kong. If I find more as
Yeah, Hong Kong's pretty diverse in terms of what you can eat. Singapore too.
yeah,
Have you ever done
yeah,
Singapore?
yes. Ah,
Eh.
Jacob,
Oh my god, the food.
Yeah, I will still stand with Hong Kong because it's like more fun, more chaotic. Like Singapore is too perfect, but well, they do have all of the cuisine same as Hong Kong. So I did stay in pretty nice hotel there. I really like it.
In
So
Singapore. You know
yeah,
what? Everything in Singapore is nice. Like it's crazy.
uh, the
Um,
the service of from people is like wow.
Everywhere.
Like so, we stayed in like Ritz Carlton, which is like good hotel, like really good. But the service was like you can never expect that level of service in Poland, or like this was they walked us around the whole hotel speaking like just being so cool, so perfect, like just they was like I don't know how to explain that. But after they walked us around hotel, they said they upgrading us. This
Oh,
like the
really?
Singapore like really perfect service, like amazing.
Last time I was there was 2019 for the Coin Market Cap conference. That was
Hmm.
actually the one where like the you know how Binance acquired Coin Market Cap from like Coin Market Cap somewhat secretively, somewhat a little bit anonymous founder. And like I don't know, it was just a fantastic time. There for about a week. Um, I'd go back anytime, but right now I'm not traveling because of COVID. Just
Yeah, too
stay
much of
here.
the restriction. I miss Asia so much. Like after living for a few years in Asia, I've been like I haven't been there for already over 2 years, and it's so strange to me. That's like Asia is pretty different. Like in
I think that like stuff is developing faster overall in Asia, and like that, and it is a little rough to say because you know Vietnam and U.S. have historically been like political enemies, but like when I look at how choices are made here around policy and stuff, might actually be better. Just not really to like praise collectivism, but like stuff is getting done at a very rapid pace,
but it
which is
is
cool as
still a
hell.
socialist republic. I mean Vietnam, right? So
I don't think so. Well,
well,
allow me to explain.
in the
Have you
name,
been
but
to
it does.
China?
So that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
In the name,
exactly.
but Vietnam
Exactly.
is completely different than China. Like in Vietnam, you have the red flags,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. The
but
hammer and sickle? Yeah, we got that.
you don't have the like such a widespread censorship, right? You have social media.
Yeah,
You're
no,
fully
you
open.
really, you don't, although, I mean, I should say, you don't really want to like criticize policy, except it's weird, right? Because there's like a way that people are supposed to do it. Let's put it this way: free speech is not as absolutist as in the states. Certainly, like not even close, right?
Hmm.
Um, at the same time, I look at the states. I feel like we've been floundering. I don't like. Um, I talk to my parents pretty often, hear about the prices of different stuff, and it's like I only left 2.5 years ago. What the hell happened over there? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Vietnamese have really great entrepreneurial spirit. I would say.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is something that constantly impresses me about like our engineering team and all the staff here at Notional. Like, um, yeah, yeah, right. I
but
mean,
it's nice to have. It's nice to have
well,
the free
I, I,
speech.
I think I think that what Rama is trying to say, and he's probably touching on something that's like super super true. Um, even in the states, there's certainly like yeah, that's exactly it. There are consequences for you know what you say, and I don't know. Maybe there should be, and maybe that's part of market economies. I don't know. I do think, and we're going to touch on this for a second. I think Vietnam at this point is thoroughly a market economy, um, and the government. Well, actually, I don't understand it well at all.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Vietnam does have stock market. Stock like
Yes,
stock. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
I visited it last year to talk about like potential blockchain integrations. But yeah,
Mhm.
there's absolutely a stock market here.
Yeah, which is
Um,
very rare for socialist republics, right? Because that's like
well, okay, so we're going to really touch on it. I think they call it market socialism.
okay.
And I don't know exactly what that means. And
Mhm.
there was a set of reforms in the late '80s and early '90s that basically like you can own stuff, you can sell stuff, you can buy stuff, and that's been progressively expanded. And frankly, like one of the cool things about being here is that in general, the average person is seeing a lot of growth. Um, that I don't really think that's the case in the states, and I do think that really colors like the attitude that you find in people overall, and even in business and in policy. Like that's just wonderful. Makes me really happy.
Mhm. Oh, interesting. Even during COVID, the Vietnam grew 3%. The economy. I think they don't have such a
It's,
strong.
it's
I think they don't have really such a strong reliance on tourism like some of the neighboring countries, which is also great.
yeah. I mean, there's high tech manufacturing here. I mean, I'd love to get into that more.
Yeah. Sorry
In
for
fact,
cutting you.
so let's say I got 4 minutes. I'll throw out something that like I've been working on for years now, years, which is a single board computer that is like as open source as possible. And yes, friends, it's designed to replace this. And in January, hell, this could be a reason to delegate to Notional. In January, we put down a deposit with a hardware design firm, and it looks like the first one of those is going to be an NVIDIA Jetson like board platform, and that will begin to validate Bostrom, the cyber network, which hell, I'll shill a little bit here. Okay, so I'll be real. I've been buying that token, and we're also a well ranked validator there. So like we have a decent amount of it. Why? I'll tell you because guys, there are no holds barred. Okay, the engineering work is very clean. Now it's weird. Everything about cyber is weird. Um, but it's probably due to the degree of originality. And I feel that it's a project you may wish to check out. And I should also say that like one of the things I really like about it, it's not that common in blockchain teams to think on the appropriate time scale. The appropriate time scale for blockchain development is frankly decades. Okay? I know that their heads are there, and I really enjoy the quirkiness of the like cyber and Bostrom community because everybody's very free to be a freak, and I'm a bit of a freak myself. So,
It has the number of tokens like a meme coin. No, not much information. I'm speaking about Bostrom. Um, one with 12 zeros. Not sure what the number. That's the token supply, but
oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They have so many zeros. I'll tell you why. Because what they did, uh, there are no fractions of a boot. Okay. So like
oh,
there's no decimal point. You're always using the integer number that the computer would use natively. In other chains, for example, there's no such thing as an atom. I don't know if you guys know that, but the chain only knows of the U atom. Okay, like one atom is it's not 100 million. How many? A million. No, 1 million. One atom is 1 million U atom. And the reason for that is that like computers kind of hate decimal points in certain ways, and so the chain itself just deals in raw integers. For Bostrom, they decided to not follow the convention of there's like a very literal a convention or standard that they should. that they should, you know, have an asset on the chain that doesn't have a decimal point, but then add the decimal point in the front end. That's how the atom works. And everybody, I want to say, just have a wonderful day. Margine, if you're interested in doing like this rep stuff, but the one thing I'd warn you on, right? Like you'd be a beta tester, because like I don't know how it'll work yet, but am I'm convinced enough to try
Hmm.
that the correct way to expand notional and like improve our rankings and different validator sets and stuff is to actually bring on people who are already knowledgeable about Cosmos and have them represent us and
Hmm.
delegate a lot of the like interaction stuff to that person, because at the end of the day inside notional we're really an engineering firm, and like
Hmm.
that's where we're great. So that's the thought. And anybody else wants to talk about that, I'm happy to talk to you about that too. And I hope everybody has a super wonderful day. And I just want to say, not about France, it's just about wash trading. Just kind of like not incentivize that, please.
Thank you, Jacob, and sorry for keeping you for so long because it meant to be 30 minutes, but
No apologies. I had a great time. I always have a
okay.
great time. All
Thank
right.
you.